very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us on this, the 1st of November. Now let's take a look at some of the stories that have been compiling during the week.
Quality education enables people to develop attributes and skills to achieve their potential as human beings. In 1985, former President Daniel Arap Moi introduced the 844 system of education. With his introduction, CPE became Kenya Certificate of Primary Education and CSE became Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education.
The system has enabled our children to access top universities in the world and survive the test of time.
According to Omide in 1964, the chairman of the first educational commission in the independent Kenya, education like society was stratified along racial lines. There existed African education, a European education, and an Asian education. Three separate systems divided by rigid boundaries. Since January 1985, public education in Kenya has been based on an 844 system. The examining body is mandated to test students after 8 years primary level and 4 years secondary level through the Kenya National Examinations Council, NEC. NEC then offers national exams to all students who register with the body. 844 has been the subject of national debate since its inception. It has been criticized for being broad, expensive, and burdensome to pupils and parents.
The 844 system, I think it should be changed. I don't think it produces an all-round child and doesn't really focus on the skills.
When you teach somebody like engineering and you teach that pupil about engineering and what entails in engineering, that pupil can be in future a good engineer.
I think we've had the debate and there are varied opinions regarding this system. One, they feel that it's denied, in an attempt to broaden that base, denied the young people the opportunity to really focus.
Governments and public authorities should ensure that its citizens get quality education from early childhood into adulthood. Reporting for WTV News, my name is Marianne Njeri.
Looking for employment in Kenya has proven to be a daunting task, and the current freeze of employment in government does little to help the situation. The unemployed youth in the country consequently end up with little or no knowledge of skills such as CV writing and interviewing. To this effect, the Akili Dada Foundation has come up with job preparedness workshops held to help equip young ladies who are looking to enter the job market with the skills they need to succeed.
The job preparedness workshop was really birthed out of our own personal experiences. During the earlier part of the year, we had a lot of interviews for different positions at our organization. And just during the interview process, we found that these young women were completely clueless. Even the first question, which is usually most employers ask, tell us about yourself. A lot of young women did not know how to answer that question. They don't know, do you start from primary? Do you start from university? How do you tell about yourself? And so since our main focus, one of the things that we do for young women is to build their capacity, skills building. And so we thought this is an area that, is a gap and we need to fill it.
But just what does the foundation hope to achieve by hosting such workshops for the unemployed young ladies?
So out of this workshop, we hope that every single young woman here will be able to interview successfully, will come out of here with a CV that they are proud of and that employers will accept because of the skills that they've learned from this workshop. But ultimately, we hope that as a result of this workshop, they do get jobs.
According to Pamina Swainaina of Corporate Staffing Services, there are a number of mistakes that fresh graduates make in the process of looking for employment that disqualify them from recruitment.
You find an employer wants to know what is your current or last salary, and they will not do that. They will not indicate. The other one is inability to follow simple instructions. For example, someone you ask you, send me your CV and cover letter. But you find someone just sending the CV. Okay. The other challenge I've seen is where job seekers, they go for jobs which are not in their area of specialization, or where they don't even have the skills or the number of experience that an employer is looking for. So you find, yes, simply because you've seen the job is paying between 50 to 60,000, you're a fresh graduate, you feel, let me go for that.
There are about 30 young ladies attending this 3-day workshop, and there is a sense of renewed hope in them for the future.
I'm a recent graduate. I graduated in August, and I've never gone to any formal interview. So that was the main reason I was attracted to this workshop, because I need experience. I need to know what to expect when I go for interviews. I need to know when I'm applying for a job, what is expected of me.
Initiatives such as these job preparedness workshops should be the norm the country over, as they serve to equip the unemployed youth with the necessary skills to compete successfully in the job market. Reporting for WTV News, I am Irene Galgalo.
What the future holds for nearly 100 senior police officers is uncertain after radical changes were made to the top command Thursday. The National Police Service Commission has introduced 3 new positions to replace 5 that have been rendered out of date, affecting the positions held previously by 196 senior officers. The commission sitting in Malindi on Thursday adopted the new ranks, that is Senior Assistant Inspector General and Assistant Inspector General, in which about 50 vacancies are available. Accordingly, successful officers will be posted as heads of each of the 47 counties. Meanwhile, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission Thursday arrested 10 traffic officers in Nakuru for allegedly receiving bribes from motorists. The anti-graft agency recovered 100 shillings and 1,000 shillings notes from traffic officers in charge of the Kiti, Eveready and Shiners checkpoint. EACC spokesperson Yasin Amaro has said that the officers will be charged with taking bribes and will also serve as a lesson to other officers who are engaging in such vices. Reporting for WTV News, I am Wairi Mombogwa. Passion and loyalty are 2 virtues that go hand in hand. They are to blame for the recent fracas during the sports matches, football to be precise. Fans can go out of hand in expressing their loyalty and at times forced to use weird ways of showing their dissatisfaction at the opponent teams and even trigger fights, ignoring the consequences of their actions which kill the spirit of sportsmanship in the country.
I think football hooliganism, when you look all over the world, it's not new in Kenya, or it's just specific in Kenya as well. But largely you realize hooliganism is usually more so and often associated with football. Years back in the early 90s, we saw the English being one of the worst nation that had hooligans. But right now they've made a lot of progress, and they don't have incidents of hooliganism as before. In Kenya here, we've been trying to curb this, and though it always comes up once in a while, it's something that should be of the past, because the game is beautiful and we would expect that everybody comes in for entertainment and leave us either entertained very well and go back home. The main reason why you find that fans cause riot or anarchy is because they would expect the team to be winning, but when it comes to a point where they see that this is not coming forth, some of the rowdy fans or the hooligans seem to like to disrupt the matches, and that is totally wrong, because in sport there's always a winner, a loser, and for football there can be a tie, and that is what our Kenyan fans should learn.
This has been the case with our very own teams during matches. There have been reported cases of the same. Scenes like these scare off people and even paint our Kenyan flag dirty, now that instead of enjoying a match in a calm manner, we have to be on our feet in fear of the ugliness that has been the outcome of each match in the recent era. So what can be done as a solution to this terrible trend, or rather, who is to blame on its existence in the first place?
I think it's an all-inclusive issue. It should start with the club itself, because the club is the one that makes or gets the fans to rally behind their club. So they should find a way of how they can engage the fans just try and educate them a bit on the laws of the game, what would happen, what the dangers of causing riots and crowd trouble in stadiums. And once they understand, they'll know that football is a lot of business. And when you riot, that means you'll be chasing away whoever sponsors you have on board, or anybody who was willing to come on board and will never want to come back in the stadium. What we are trying to work on right now is to see people coming in with families into the stadium. But the more they see the violent part of the sport, then everybody will shy away and brand the sport as a sport for hooligans, which is not the case. Football is indeed a beautiful game, and we do not want to see somebody lose their lives during football events or any other sporting event. So people should learn to lose honorably and celebrate when they win.
And that's all we had for you this evening. Thank you for joining us. My name is Wari Mambogwa. Do have a blessed night.